All right. Hello everyone, whosoever is online with us. I welcome you to this podcast series, The Legal Lens, which is hosted by Legitquest. Let me quickly, introduce you to Legitquest first, which is the force behind this podcast. At Legitquest, we are on a mission to transform how the legal professional access and use the legal information. You know, uh, Primarily, we have worked on three verticals in the legal tech space. We are into legal research, providing the largest litigation database of our country, and then we moved on to creating a product which is called as a case management tool product, where the law firm partners as well as the in-house teams of corporates, they can manage all their cases under one roof, one platform. And then we forayed into legal due diligence by creating a product called Libel. So that's where we help the corporates, BFSI space, BVGV space, and even law firms to get the litigation check done on any entity. So that's what in a brief we do. And coming back to this legal lens, Keshav, I just wanted to tell you like what was the sort of thought process behind. We really wanted to talk about and shout out about this legal tech landscape, various verticals touching upon within this landscape, and sort of apprise our audience and the audience which are interested to listen to this. And we thought, why not? I mean, why not we call the industry stalwarts? Why not we call industry leaders who are into this space and doing a fantastic job like you? So that was the whole thought process, and I think today we are very blessed, and it's my pleasure to sort of invite our first guest for the first episode of this podcast series, Mr. Keshav Lahoti. So I'll take a leverage of introducing you as well, Mr. Keshav. So Keshav, he has been into this space. He is right now head legal compliance and secretarial at Indify. With over 13 years of experience, Keshav has worked across fintech, NBFCs, and manufacturing, helping companies stay compliant, manage legal risk, and grow with confidence. Today he's with us, sharing all his insight, the role of specifically talking about on the role of legal due diligence in the lending space. So we are really honored to have you, Kesha. So thank you so much for taking your time.
So,
Perfect.
uh,
Yeah, please go ahead.
so it's pleasure for me as well, and thanks for having me. Matlab, it's like it's a kind of a nice initiative you guys have started, and I really appreciate it. And it help people. I hope matlab, it help people in whatever manner it could be. Like whenever matlab, whatever experience I do have and would like to share it with other people. So definitely looking forward to it.
Perfect. I think we are all set to go forward. So before we sort of deep dive into the theme, I just wanted to sort of ask like can you really take us through your journey into the legal world and what really led you to get into the fintech and the specific role that you're handling? Maybe throwing more light on that would really help knowing the audience better from where you're coming.
Sure. So before we begin, just I would like to clarify that all the opinions shared over here are my personal views, and nothing sort of is represents the official views of entity. That's a disclaimer. Just wanted to give it to the public. So coming onto the my professional career, I would like to start that I began my career with uh, financial industries only. I have started that I can call typically as a traditional finance company, so which we used to call it as an NBFC company. So started with Focus Industrial Resources Limited. That was also a group of NBFC's company, and then moved to a consultancy firm named Sanjeev Kapoor and Associates, and then again moving to a NBFC side, which is BFSI Microfinance. So Satin Credit Network Limited. So my experience almost being into the financial sector, then I thought that to take the flavor of some other sector as well, considering demonetization, GST things were being introduced by the government. So later on, I joined a manufacturing concern named Gold Plus Glass Industry Limited. It's India's second largest glass manufacturing company, and very big manufacturing, you can say, giant. And then again, since this fintech, the word which we are using now more frequently, so Indifeed Technologies, currently I'm associated with Indifeed Technologies. It's a fintech company, and it's a fintech marketplace company wherein we are actually making the loan process very easily accessible to everyone. That's a digital way of doing the disbursement of loan in a click. And we do have in-house NBFC company as well and other external lender partners. And so currently over here, I am heading three department, legal, secretary, and compliance. And by saying so, I would be saying that this is a very critical role. I would be saying the way NBFCs being are governed by the regulator RBI, very vigilant regulator, I must say. And you need to be very proactive, being from the legal background. The companies and promoters, stakeholders, investors do put a larger faith on you, so you guys need to like come on to their expectations, doing and discharging all the obligations, fulfilling all the conditions, making the compliant company to comply with all the law in all good manner, true spirits manner. So that is the thing that I would be saying onto this.
No, no, I think by hearing you out, I'm sure that you are the perfect fit to actually talk about this space because you have done that job from your, own experiences. So yeah, I mean, uh, we are relieved that you're gonna give the real insight to our audience. So moving further, Keshav, just wanted to get into the sort of theme as well now. So when you look at the due diligence in the fintech today, because right now you're working with a fintech, how does it typically involve? What does it typically involve? Like how this the whole process goes, the due diligence process.
So, see, working with a fintech and working with a manufacturing, these both are two different, I would say, poles. It's like North Pole, South Pole. So, manufacturing concern or FMCG sectors are like that. You will be focusing on assets, security, license approvals, and all. But when it's come to the fintech, matlab you are being governed by RBI. It's a more proactive regulator.
Mm,
Secondly, public money is involved, bankers are involved, so you need to be very vigilant. So approach is totally different from what how the due diligence is done for the manufacturing or FMCG, or how the due diligence is done for the fintech company. Let's suppose if I say that we are doing the fundraising, in the process of fundraise,
mm,
so you need to check the promoter's credibility, you need to check the company's performance, to whom they are giving the loan, are we dealing with the vendors those who are actually ESG compliant or not, are they following the practice of you can say anti corruption policy or not, does they have anti corruption policy. So there are various checks and balances which I would be saying more than the FMCG or manufacturing side, considering since it's a largely you can say most, you can say, watched business, which is like overall wherein the rules are being set by the government itself. You can't develop your own rules and doing the things in your own manner, but in manufacturing you can do in whatever manner you want to do, whether you want to do it manually, whether you want to do it through machines and everything. But over here the things are, the rules are being set up by the government, and so due diligence are being different. Coming on to the
mm,
specific part of the due diligence, wherein I can say that these requires completely a different outlook. First of all, you need to prepare a checklist wherein you need to understand the business model. See, banks are there, NBFCs are there, cooperatives are there, small finance banks are there, neo banks are there. You need to first understand that what type of due diligence you are going to do, due diligence of which entity, in which domain it is falling
mm,
into. Then you need to prepare the checklist that what aspects you need to see. Due diligence is also a very wider term, which we say it can be bifurcated into financial due diligence, legal due diligence, tech due diligence, ESG due diligence. So it depends on the requirement, I would be saying. If we talk about specifically about the legal due diligence, usually this is a very more most important due diligence which every investor, stakeholder, or anyone who is actually getting into the partnership as well will be doing it. It includes checking off
mm,
your all the records from scratch, title entitlement of property, whether you are having any cases, litigations, or your background check would be there, your credibility in the
mm,
market. How the credibility is checked? By through the looking after your records, past check, getting the credit score check for your company and all. So these things would be there. Apart from you can say audited financials, audits, report, regulator licensing, what is the feedback of the regulators and all, report, sanction, any sanction has been imposed by the government, penalties. So all these factors needs to be seen, and then come on to the conclusion. whosoever is like wanted to have the outcome of the diligence come on to the decision that whether they want to go ahead or not. So it is a
Right.
bit different from the manufacturing, wherein in the manufacturing you can check out the assets, but in financial things you don't have any assets. It is just the number. The money is flowing from your side to the other side, and the other side is person is giving you the money, then to the other one. So you need to have a whole dependent on the paper trail, and secondly the credibility which promoters or company does have in people's mind. So that is something
Mm.
which that's why I'm saying it is getting more critical in BFSI sector doing the due diligence other in comparison to BFSI manufacturing.
Right, right, right. I think you fairly, touched upon the kind of differences, maybe the fintech, the finance industry who's using technology vis-a-vis the manufacturing organization, they undertake the due diligence whole process.
Hmm.
There's a quite a big difference. And you talked about like due diligence definitely includes a lot, many aspects like financial, operational, and legal. Legal is something that is, very, very important, and you threw some light. So just taking the conversation forward, I mean, definitely litigation check, the legal due diligence is very important because there's no asset, you are just lending it to the entity, and you have to check whether the criminal records and court record, everything is sorted, and there's no penalty from the government regulators and all those things. So during that whole process, maybe if you can just apprise the audience, deep dive into that process. Is there any technological use you guys are doing it? Is there any, how it actually happens? How you sort of break down this whole process of litigation check would be really nice for us and the audience to know.
Yes. So Himanshu, matlab, since we don't have since at IndieFi matlab, we don't have any branches. We are working branchless, and the underwriting part wherein we need to see whether the borrower is there or not, whether the person is a fraudulent or not. You need to see many of the things. So now with the technology has reached to that point wherein by sitting at one location you can get the record of the person from anywhere in India or even across the world. And that is something which we are doing so with the help of other vendors as well. It is not a single, I would be saying, vendor. It consists of many of the multiple people which actually does have a role to play in this thing. Likewise, you have mentioned the litigation thing. Let's suppose uh, some of the people, like let's suppose somebody is investing in a company and I have represented that this much of litigations are going on. But then what about the litigation which has already been completed in past, which was
Hmm.
like I can say last, wherein the penalty order has been passed to you. Usually, what this is a major aspect of the due diligence, wherein people tend to miss that they get onto the current status, that how many what are the things going on actually, whether you have filed the suit or suit has filed against you. This is something which everybody does so, but you need to look at the past cases as well, that how the things has actually been there with them, whether there are any litigation type or type of cases, what are the type of cases actually got resolved in past. It could be criminal, it could be civil. It shows that what type of person or what type of the entity it could be. So that's a thing. And secondly, by while checking, matlab, doing all this in litigation, you can do the fraud check as well. Since there could be a Himanshu Puri using some fake identity saying that I am the Himanshu Puri, then it is very tough to
Hmm.
prove. People are now, the technology has, as I said it, that technology is so advanced that you can forge the image. Even the podcast has been like people are giving interview by forging the images of the person, and say somebody is saying something, and but you can see the person is like somebody else. So that's how you need to like go into the detail. You need to check, you need to see that whether person is misusing the technology or not. Wherein
Hmm.
other aspects come, like when you are doing the civil check. Let's suppose you are doing the civil check and all, so people are tend to hide many of the things, but in civil you are going to get to only the know the current status, that whether the person is paying or not. But other than that you will not be getting any information. So there are other vendors as well who are actually providing the information, who for the past long history, whether the borrower is having the bank account with other entities as well, whether the borrower is involved in any of the fraudulent activity or not, whether any borrower or entity is into the UN sanction list or not. since if you know, matlab, since we are into the lending industry, or FATCA is applicable to us, and US corruption practices and other things are there. We also do have PAMLA, PMLA rules over here, wherein money laundering things come into the picture. So we need to be very vigilant. We need to all see all these aspects. In traditional finance, earlier we tend to do that, people are coming to the branch, or branch person is going to the person's house.
Hmm.
But now, since this is the completely whole digital thing, now you can't do go to every court, every police station, every sub registrar wherein
Hmm.
documents are not available, people are not cooperative with you. You are, you need to like kal aana, parso aana, you are getting the dates again and again. It actually, the process was very cumbersome earlier. Now with the help of many of the vendors and like Legitquest, since you guys are also doing the fantabulous job of providing the services of litigation check, wherein I can say that, wherein that data which can take to collate 1 week, or even can go to 15 days or 20 days, and the person who is doing this job is actually is like very costly. Where the person is also getting the salary, and which you guys are doing it in a quick click seconds. So that's a good revolution, I would be saying, and that's a very helpful thing, wherein you guys are helping us in some other way, wherein we are actually able to serve the customer on time very quickly. Because lending is something, when you are needing the money, if you are getting it, then though it will be solving the purpose. And in case you lend, you want to money now, and but I am dispersing you after 15 days, then there is no point of even that lending as well. So that is something which we are bridging the gap with the help of you guys. And definitely, these all are aspects wherein we are checking. Earlier, we tend to do the field verification and all, but now since
Hmm.
fraud check applications are there, wherein we can see the person latitude, longitude, and we can do the VSIP, wherein through the use of technology,
Hmm.
you can just directly come onto the camera. The camera itself will providing the information of where you are standing. Is it you, or is it a morph image or something like that? Are you a lively person or not, or is somebody else is there or not?
Hmm.
Because eye scan is not only is limited to Aadhaar. Even by the blink of the eye, or you can say face expression, your identity can be traced out. So that's how the technology is advanced, and again it is evolving. It is not something this is the limit. It is
Right.
still evolving. And definitely, you will see that the revolution is coming very soon in this industry. It is going at a very fast rate, and now the lending, the banking industry is completely is going to be changed in the next 5 years or
Right.
so.
No, no, absolutely, absolutely. I think in the last 5 minutes, whatever you spoke, I think I completely agree on that part. And technology has really given a great push. That's why finance industry has evolved as a fintech, and
Yes.
legal is going towards legal tech. There's nothing now can work without technology is what I will say. And I think you're pinpointed on the very right direction, right? Earlier, there were so many, manual processes to get the databases, and today you have multiple vendors. I mean, that's great. Checking upon certain regulations, checking upon the database from the litigation parlance. I mean, the time to even deliver your services in the finance industry has gone way, lesser, and you can deliver it very quickly. And definitely you touched upon like we definitely are into this space. So that's why we saw this kind of a requirement big time in the finance industry, and we thought because we started with actually legal research. Just to tell you, Keshav, so we started collating the legal database, and down the line we realized that we possess the largest litigation database, and why can't we just derive a great intelligence out of it, right? That's where we started working on delivering this litigation check reports. And you rightly mentioned, though there are different kind of transactions, when there are IPOs happening or a high financial stake transactions happening, there's still a manual intervention which is expected and needed. So we even deliver manual reports, and now the APIs, we are somewhere giving it to the BGB companies, to be banking sector, NBFCs, where they just one with just one click they just get the whole background record check, and all the cases may be disposed of, pending, whatever, and all that can happen with a click. So absolutely great. So just wanting to just like, this is what you guys are into. So is it like has become a common practice now across the industry? Everyone is now into that same space. How is the industry behaving to this technological intervention coming into this space?
Himanshu, industry is still evolving. See, matlab
Okay.
it is something which actually you guys have prepared. Let's suppose you guys have made this product, but it's onto the other person whether to want to use it or not, whether there is a usage for them or not. Let's suppose Legitquest is open right now to business entities, but if I would be saying that I want to use it for myself, that I want to see the litigation part of some other individual, whether is it available or not, that is something which I think there is a lot of scope. It is not only limited to the public thing.
Mm,
See, everybody wants to, if somebody is dealing with any other one, everybody wants to deal with the right person, with a person with ethics and moral and all, so that there should not be any doubt about the authenticity of that person, whether this is a fraudulent or not. So industry is evolving. Having said that,
mhm,
that if I am saying that I want to serve my customers seamlessly without any hurdle, then I need to change myself. I need to adopt these technologies, because the time has gone wherein people are standing in queue, getting the passbook printed, getting the account open. It is just a click that people are doing so, and people are getting the loan, or it could be opening the account, demat, or anything they want to do it. So it is just a facilitation, and it is now coming all across the industry. Now even now
mm,
banks has also started doing it. Earlier they were like, they were looking at that how industry is shaping, and the way NBFCs have captured the share in the loan industry. Now the banks have also started in partnership with the NBFCs or other banks, those who are advanced in the technology aspect, and they are also adopting those things, because these are the requirement of an hour, because these are critical. Otherwise you will not be able to hold or tap onto the information of, because data is so much scattered that it is not viable,
mm.
or even it is not cost effective, I would be saying, that to deploy that much of personnel into this process and get the derivative out of it, and then disbursing the loan, because it is actually increasing the cost of, you can say, doing the disbursement. So this is going to be adopted by each and everyone, and still things are like, many more options are also coming in, wherein every process needs to be digitalized. That is something which government is also focusing upon, and we are also, as an industry, we are adopting. So likewise, you have said it, the fraud
Right.
check. Nobody could have imagined that through the use of AI or through the use of technology, anybody can check the fraud, or the person can check the all record. Let's suppose you have committed a crime in America, or you can say in some other part of state, India, let's suppose in Kerala, and you are representing yourself in North India, in Delhi, saying that I don't have any litigation, I don't have any order against me. But through the use of this technology, everything will be like coming out in clear. So person when will be speaking will be in the fear that, boss, I can be like cross checked and things can come out. So that's a
Right.
thing, and it is actually helpful, creating an, you can say, very good environment. Those who are not able to like see the things, or those who want to like initiate a process or do starting the things for, let's suppose if I want to start an NBFC, then with the help of you guys and the other vendors, I can get my business start in a very quickly manner. Earlier I need to have the branches, I need to have personnel, I need to have officers, I need to have the support of the local authority to check, to get this thing done, and it actually takes more than 15 to 16 days. So but through the use of technology, it is like going or doing it in a very simple manner.
Right, right, right. I think you're absolutely right. Things uh, have changed a lot. There has been an impact, and I think it will take some more time to penetrate this kind of an impact of technology pretty well into the space. So yes, every now and then, things are evolving, and better technology comes the next day, and even we get a shocker like, okay, now Gen AI, then whatnot. What's there in the pipeline, we never know in future gonna come, right? So perfect. So just take the conversation forward, Keshav, like, just wanted to understand, like, your role, like you're leading right now the legal and compliances, and you have led it, multiple, organizations. So what's been the key to building a team that can scale? So you've been working with many of your fellows, you have built the team, at many places. So how does it function? What's your philosophy behind that? Maybe just wanted to understand so that it guides the young professionals moving towards that, your profession and your industry, maybe.
Yeah. So in this, today's time, so I see only the one thing which is very critical and very important, that how much tech savvy the guy is. The person needs to
Uh,
be a tech savvy first, because that's a very important thing, because everything is now tech. If I would be saying that you need to get this data from this, and the person is not that tech savvy, irrespective of the person is having the knowledge of law, and but where it needs to be applied, in
Hmm.
what manner needs to be applied, then it's a clear cut a way that it is of no use. So I usually see the person is having the acumen along with the tech savvy skills. The person should be knowing how to use the technology. You need to be smarter in this space, because now legal is not only limited, or due diligence is not only limited to ticking the boxes that you have got the papers, you have just ticked the boxes that you have got the document. You need to see the authenticity. You need to see the whole trail, because the chain, the blockchain thing kind of is coming into this picture, into this industry. So you need to understand the nuances of each and everything. Currently, I usually, what practice we do follow is we usually regularly go to the regulator's website, checking all the things, whether any notifications or things are there or not. And it is not only specific or limited to your industry, it could be any industry, because you should be smart enough to know that what is actually going on. One thing I always used to say is that you don't need to be a master of one. You can be having a knowledge, you can be like having the knowledge of each and everything in a limited manner as well. That can also a very helpful thing to you, because say, let's suppose if the role which I am in, if I am not able to deal with the product, or a tech guy, because since into the legal domain, if I am drafting the contract, then I need to see the security part as well. I need to see in case data is got leaked out, then what implication it would be having in while developing the product, whether the product is up to the standard which has been prescribed by the RBI or not. In case some activity has been outsourced, let's suppose if I am outsourcing my field verification or fraud verification to any of the vendor, then whether that vendor has a security standards or not, whether the vendor has a BCB plan or not, in case if the agreement terminates, whether the person can be like there is any substitute to this thing, whether my dependency would be like completely onto that guy or not. So I need to see each and every aspect. Our job role is to liaison with each and everyone. It is just that you are a facilitator in doing the business. Earlier we tend to be like we were seeing as a cost center, but now since everybody is so vigilant that without discussing it with the legal, but they are not proceeding further, because everybody is smart enough that anybody can do the Google, can do the research by
Yeah.
themselves, and they are come prepared. Their questions would also be like that this much of information I'm already knowing it. What, as an expert, what you guys are having it now, let me know the way out. Earlier we tend to be like that. Our job role is not only to say no, it is about what the regulator wants and how we are ensuring those things. What is the need of the business, how you can accommodate. You need to come out with the alternatives, and that is where the personal skills come, wherein the person is how much open they are. One thing recently I did it, we actually did the hackathon exercise, wherein we have asked my team, as a company, overall company, wherein we have asked the department to come up with a suggestion or solution that what things you can automate through the use of AI.
Hmm.
Our tech team will be developing this. So it could be contract management, it could be contract drafting. The contract goes into the length of 40, 60 pages. With the help of the AI, you can got it reviewed within a 15 minutes or 15-second time. That is something. Likewise, Legitquest, whether if you want to do the litigation check, you don't need to go to each and every department. You just need to know how to use this tool. That's
Correct.
it. Within a click you will get all the information. So you need to be smart. So this is a time when smart people are actually playing this thing, and those who are smart, those who are tech savvy, are flourishing this industry. And that is the only mantra I would be saying, because
Right.
you having the knowledge and not knowing how to apply it is equivalent to zero only. So you need
Correct.
to be smart enough, and yeah, that is the only sole thing.
Yeah. No, no, I got that. I mean, it's a great advice maybe for the people who are listening to your podcast today. I mean, for you, your philosophy is very clear. Jack of all trade and master of none will
Yes,
work
master
because
of
you
none.
need to work on many stuff
Many of
parallelly. And uh, and definitely, I think technology, like we are also a tech company, so the one who's not exposed to technology is nobody for me as well. So absolutely a relevant point you touched upon, and smartness is something that works today more than hard work is definitely bang on. So maybe my last question of today's post podcast, and which touches upon your philosophy more. Maybe there are a lot of legal professionals listening to your today's post podcast today. and they might be wanting into get into the technology industry, maybe fintech, legal tech, and whatnot, because they're aspiring, right? They don't just want to get into the usual professions, right? Or that these upcoming spaces, industries, sectors are very exciting for them. So what kind of an advice probably you would like to give to them, because you have seen the world, you have seen your industry, you have applied, executed everything. So something coming from your side gonna really motivate, gonna really help them, give them the direction, I would say. So
Yeah.
your advice to them, maybe what can it be?
Yeah. So likewise, due diligence, I must say that legal is also a big thing. Matlab, it is not something
Right.
only specific to the contracts. It is more than that. Let's suppose if you are a doctor and you need to fight a case for an hospital wherein something's happened, but you need to knowing the nuances of those things. So that is something which I want. By having said that, matlab, by saying this thing, I want to say that you need to be first understand in which side or in which sector you want to develop the niche. That's a first the wherein you will be like setting the foundation to reap out to come out that now I can say I can having my views onto this piece, I am the expert of this thing. The way the regulations are coming in, like DPDP Act is there, like blockchain technology is coming into the picture. You should be knowing each and everything because you need to work in accordance with the law. That is where our rules come into picture. If you're not aware of the regulations, what actually regulation wants and what regulator wants, even sometimes things are not written out completely in the books, but a regulator wants that this information should be done in this manner or this work should be done or executed in this fashion, then you need to be aware of those things, then only you can got this thing in written and get this thing executed. That's where I would be saying that you need to be very open minded to understand what is actually going on. That's why I said it, that you need to be smart enough what are the tools available in the market, how you can get your work efficiently done. It is not something that you are reading the whole contract, doing the research by your own, because knowledge is something, it is not limited to only one aspect. Wherever you will go, you will get to know new things, and then you need to deliver the outcome from that piece. So you need to be very active and start developing the niche where your interest lies. It could be doctor, it could be corporate, it could be matrimonial, it could be anything. How you can bring the differentiator is something which people are looking out for. Everybody knows basic things now, everybody is a lawyer, everybody is a doctor by googling it. How you can differentiate between the common people and you, by saying that you are a lawyer will not be sufficing the purpose. You need to have some extra skills, extra knowledge or extra things, so that you can convince or tell the other people that boss, this is something which is correct, this is not correct, this is a wrong information you guys are having, this is something which is correct. So you need to onto the top position wherein you are having the knowledge of each and everything. Like if I come to specifically to the law side, let's suppose if I am from the corporate, then I need to have a grip on the company law. I am governed by the RBI, so I need to having the grip on the RBI master direction. So each and everything you need to see where your interest lies. In case you are serving the hospitality industry, then you should be knowing the licenses part of that thing. If you are serving the manufacturing industry, then you should be knowing the labor laws. That's how you can serve the things. So with the experience, with the time, you need to groom yourself by looking at what is actually going on in the surroundings, what is required from you guys.
Hmm.
Then only you can like do your job. And the only thing which I would say, that start getting yourself involved in the technology side. Later part of a time, these all things will camouflage in itself. If you are drafting the
Hmm.
agreement, if let's suppose API agreement is there, then you need to be knowing that how the security or data movement is there, how the money flow would be going from one bank to other bank, how the NPCI UPI is actually working. So you need to develop the interest, and by focusing on that piece, you will start realizing or start delivering the things. When you get deep dive into this, start delivering the output, and you will also enjoying this process, because enjoyment is something which actually motivate you to do more, to do research more, to uh, you can say to get the work properly and to come out with a differentiator. That is something
Right.
my
Right.
suggestion to the new lawyers, new people are coming into this industry or domain. Now everybody is like smart
No,
enough to
no,
like the social media and all, so guide advices are always been
absolutely.
there. But that's something which my personal experience is.
Definitely, definitely. I think we are all here just to understand and get the guidance from your experience itself. And I think if I connect the dot, I mean, you really touched upon a couple of aspects which are very critical. So knowing the your interest area, everything starts from there. If you don't know where to go, where you need to be decisive enough to understand where you really want to get into, and then knowing the tools, the technology that you talked about, you'll be directed. Okay, now this kind of a tool, this kind of an awareness I need to get into. And then I think I loved your last point very well when you talked about the differentiator aspect. You need to have a differentiator. Right now, how can you be distinguished from thousands and lakhs of people outside fighting for the same position? Maybe I don't know. That's somewhere everyone needs to really give a thought to. So great advice, I would say. And I think with this, probably we can, sort of conclude. I will take the leverage of sort of concluding. Maybe before anything else, if you have any last word or some sort of last remarks, maybe I would like to invite you for that. Otherwise, I'll proceed with the conclusion if you allow me, Keshav.
Nothing much. Everything is being covered, and I must say, I want to praise that since you guys are doing the research and coming out with such a fantabulous product, and which in any in whatever manner it is helping out. Right now, it is restricted to the business sector only. Likewise, I said it that this is a requirement of an individual as well. It could be, yeah. So if it is open to that thing as well, that's a good part. I would be saying, because everything is now digital.
Hmm.
People want to see that this is whenever I am dealing with anyone, I want to see the credibility of that person, and through the legal checks I can be like sure that yeah, boss, this is something which is very important. Likewise, if we are just a common analogy I want to say, whenever you are applying for a passport, then everything is thoroughly get checked, that whether the person is having any cases or any police investigation is going on, anything. So it is the same thing now. You don't need to prepare a passport. Even in case you are dealing with somebody, you are getting into the partnership, then
Hmm.
also you should be aware of all these tools, all these things, information available, and you should be taking the advantage of all these things, availability of all these things. That is something which I want to like say
Absolutely.
to everyone, and to like thanks a lot, onto this piece for having me.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 absolutely, you're right. I mean, the kind of use cases it can reach out to, I mean, it's humongous. The impact it can create is humongous. Even while dealing between two people, I would like to check who's coming, on our podcast, just on a lighter note, maybe. So yeah, there can be many, many serious use cases like that, dealing with a partnership firm, contracting with another party, maybe while matrimonial thing, why not? Checking your prospective husband's litigation check, right?
That is what I'm saying. And
Thousands
this
of
is very, it's a requirement. I would be saying the way we are seeing the news that how the things are actually going on. So these tools are the
right,
requirement. Everybody wants to see that
right,
how was it like the person is, because now
right.
you can
Absolutely,
hide out the
absolutely.
identity and you can create a fake person of you on social media or everything, but you need to show your real identity by having using those tools.
Right, right. Let's see. I mean, as and when things move there, maybe we touch upon those kind of a use cases as well, because that's a need of an hour at least. Yeah. The kind of scams happening all across. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll just sort of like I just said, we'll take a leverage to conclude. So, first of all, before that, thank you so much, Keshav. I think I personally enjoyed the conversation with you in the last 30, 40 odd minutes, which we had. And I am pretty sure that, our audience in the first episode must have got a real insight into, this legal due diligence risk into the lending and, fintech space. You really touched upon all those aspects, how the process and how important this due diligence is, variety of due diligence, and specifically we talked about the legal due diligence as well, and how you guys are taking it up, and how it has really, with the use of technology, has reduced down your time to really deliver the services and the benefit it's giving it to the customers. And in the last, when you talked about the advices and the suggestions while scaling up the team, or while to the people who would really love to get into the space, was tremendous. So thank you so much, Keshav, once again, and we'll definitely be meeting across multiple times for multiple engagements. I'm pretty sure that we will do that in the times to come. So just thanking my audience. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in, tuning in today. I hope you guys loved it. All the insights, real insights coming from Keshav, and look forward to joining the episode two. We'll definitely gonna release future themes as well pretty soon. So thank you so much. Take care. So we can go off live. Thank you so much, guys.